What's up guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to be working on this view some more. Right now we have seller and top bidder blank, and I want to fill those in. And the other thing is, if I add a new post, so let's say a watch, we'll say is $20. Create a new one, we see it pop up over here. But let's say I make a bid on this watch. So it was 17, I believe, the ID. So if I bid this $5 more, it should go up to $25. And in our database it does, but notice in our view over here it still says 20. And let's say if I delete this, it'll still be, it won't show it go away. So that's what we're going to do today. And the first thing is we'll work on the seller and top bidder. So now seller is now nested, and you can get the username. So that's a really easy fix. So we're going to come on over to our view auction and routes view auction, and then view, and then seller username. We can go into seller, and then we can grab the username. And we're going to have a top bidder and a seller, so actually let's just expand it like that and do seller.username. And now if I refresh, we can see Bob, Bob, Bob. And now top bidder, there's not always going to be a top bidder, because what if no one bids? But if we go down to one that does have a top bid, and doesn't look like there is. Let's see if I limit this and go up to like 20. Oh, there's only 15. So that'll give me some more items. Let's go to 17. And here we go, top bidder, and then username. And so I can just do .username like that. And then refresh. Some of these are not going to have top bidders. So chair at 123. Could be this. I could bid on this. It's an ID of 1. Bid on that. Now if I refresh, nope, that's not the one. Can I find a chair that I bid on here? This chair is an interesting price. It's now $128. Okay, here, there's a chair for $12. How many do we have? See if we can find that. Here we go, it has an ID of 12, so let's bid on that. $5 more. So now we should see a chair for $17, hopefully. And maybe I just have multiple chairs. So you notice how this doesn't show all of them. That's because it's paginated right now, and we can actually ask the database for more. And the way we do that is if we go to modules, auction, API, and we're just passing in find auctions here. So we can actually change it here. Request auctions. And we can say, believe limit. So now it should give us 20 values back, if I didn't mess that up. And I don't think it did. I think maybe I have to wrap it with a query. Now let's see. Yeah, it looks like there's some more. Okay, here we go. Now we can see that chair that I bid on for $5 more at the bottom here. So now we're pulling in some more bids. So just to recap real quick, what I did was I passed it into request auctions, and I asked for 20 items. That's what this limit does. So I'm asking for 20 items, at least. Okay. So now we have top bidder, as we saw here at the bottom. But now I also, if I bid on an item, I want to see it change here. And so what we're going to have to do is we're listening right now on sockets for created. We need to listen for updated and deleted as well. So I'm going to say const auctions service is equal to service auctions. And then right here, socket app. Now we can do auction service, and we can do that 3 times. And now this is going to be updated, this is going to be deleted, and now we need to create some new actions. We need to say auction updated, auction deleted. Now if I go into index here, can create some more auction updated, auction deleted. Oh, and yeah, okay. And then we bring it down here and actually bind them. So we're importing them here, and then we're adding them to the props here. And then we need to actually create these actions here. So auction updated, auction deleted, updated. Okay. And now we need to create them here, auction updated, and then auction deleted. And I just misspelled updated, auction updated. There we go. And then we just need to affect the reducer here. So now we need to listen for 2 more. Oops. When the auction is auction updated and auction deleted. All right. Auction updated, auction deleted. Okay. So auction deleted is really easy, right? So we're just going to filter the state. So we're going to say state.filter and then x, where x is not equal to payload.id. So we're basically just checking the IDs, and we remove. So filter, I believe, it will show me, returns the elements of the array that meet the condition. Okay, so the ones that are not equal to the payload's ID we want to keep. So the payload is the auction that we deleted. So we're checking if it's equal to ID, and if it's not, then it's not the auction we deleted, so we should keep it in the list. And then up here for updated, how I like to update is to do a map and do state.map. And I should really be using A for auction instead of X. So let's do A here. So for each auction, we check if the auction ID is equal to the payload ID. If it is, then we know payload is the one that, actually it's this, right? We're going to do ternary here. So we're checking if the ID is equal to the payload ID. If it is, we know payload is the new object and we want to replace it. Else payload. Else we just want to return A. And let's see, this is not like because we're using A in both filter. Arrow function used ambiguously with conditional expression. So just want that. There we go. Okay. The only problem with this right now is we need to add moment to this payload. And we're good. I believe. We have an error right here. Let's see. Line exceeds max length. I guess we can drop it to a new line here. Is that the best way to do it? No, it doesn't like it. Just trailing spaces aren't allowed. There we go. Alright. So now our reducer should be able to handle this. So let's test this out. So first I'm going to add a new one. So I'm going to post a bike seller username. Oh, you know what, guys? So notice when I create a new item here. Okay, so seller.username is not defined, and that's because seller is not defined. That's actually weird. We were doing fine with create. I'm not expecting this error actually. So the error, the reason we're getting the error is because seller is undefined. But seller should be defined always. So basically the problem is okay, I think the problem is when we create a new guy or new auction, notice how what's returned doesn't have a seller here. So I think what we need to do is actually go to our server code. So I have the server running. I'm going to close that. Just going to open up. I think the problem is with our service auctions, our auction hooks. So notice how where we're adding the seller in here. So we don't have to debug anymore. Notice how we're populating it on find and get, but we're not populating it on create, update, and remove. We don't need it on remove. We do need it on update and create though. So we will add populate here and populate here. And then add top bidder. Cool. I believe this is good. Let's start it up and see. Oops, we don't want to start up React Native. I just want to do npm start. Alright. So now when I create a new auction, like for example a robot, and we can refresh this, what we'd like to see is the user field here, or the seller field I mean. And we still don't see it, so that's the problem. And is there a problem here? We should be seeing it. Auctions. Okay, let's go back into the code real quick. So services, auctions, auction hooks. We have populate right here. And we're removing, yep, we're doing sequelize raw on all of them. So I'm not sure why, when I'm creating, why the auction, or why this is not being added. So users, seller, getting the seller ID. I understand why there's not a top bidder, because that doesn't exist, but you would expect seller ID. So I'm going to use the debug flag here, and see what's going on. So now it'll print out. I'm just going to open that in another window. Do npm start on the server. Now when I create a new robot over here, it'll print out on the server the before and after, and oh, there you go, that's the problem. See all this other stuff here? We should not be seeing the sequelize object. Sequelize raw for some reason is not working. I could try adding this to the after hook too. Whoops. I had my token from logging in. So it needs to be, we need to see just regular JSON for the populate hook to work. So you notice how it's passing back the sequelize object, and that's what's messing it up. Okay. Post that. Still getting the sequelize object. So we need to find out why that's happening. So we're creating, even though we said, let's look at what sequelize raw hook. Maybe we have an error in it. Params raw true. That looks pretty straightforward. Alright, so I'm just going to try basically stripping it myself. So I'll say, I'm just going to create a new hook basically. So I'll come back over here, feathers, generate hook. Oops. And this is going to be pop data values. It's going to be after, it's going to be for auctions, and we'd like it to happen for everything. So, and we can refresh that. Okay, so now this pop value should run before these. And so what I'll do in pop data values is I'll just say hook dot result is equal to hook dot result dot data values. So I'm basically just grabbing the data values from it. And now we can run our server and see if that works. So now I can post again. Hooks is not defined. Oh, but that should be hook. There we go. Can post again. Haha. And now we can see a seller is being added, so it worked. So now we can stop the server. Well, we don't have to stop the server, but I'm going to remove these debug. Okay. So what I did is, for some reason it just had a lot of extra junk in the return value. So I added this pop data values hook, and then in that hook, this runs before all the other after hooks, and it just basically removes all the sequelize object attributes and just grabs the actual data, which is what we care about. Okay, so now we can let the server run. And now that that is returning correctly, I think our app should stop throwing errors. Refresh. Gets this error when the server's off. What's going on here? Cannot set property of undefined. Type error. So it looks like pop data values might mess up some other things. So go into auction.hooks. Instead of running this on everything, let's just run it on create and update, because I think it's messing up the finding it. There we go. Restart. Good. Now we can refresh this. Alright, cool. So now when I add this, we will auction out some chocolate. Awesome. Now we see chocolate here and it didn't explode. And now if I update chocolate, so what was chocolate? Chocolate was ID 24. So I'm going to do a patch to ID 24. And I'm going to raise the price by $7. So we should see this go to $27. It updated here, but we do not see it here. Okay, so our reducer did not work. So let's see why. State.map, ID. Oh. Nope, that looks good. This looks good. So what I want to check is that what's getting returned by updated here. So let's console.log a and see what that looks like. So React native log iOS, and we can refresh that. Alright, so now we can send an update, and notice how nothing is happening. Okay. So updated is not returning anything, I believe. So console.log updated socket. And refresh that. All right. So that's how I keep bidding on this and we get nothing here. Okay, so it looks like our socket is what's broken. So I would like to check the deleted socket now and see if that bit is broken as well. So to delete, I can make a new one. I can copy this. So we'll delete 24. And what I want to do is the same thing here. So we can see if the delete is working. Console.log deleted. And it's just complaining because I'm not wrapping this in parentheses. Okay. So now the body of this request is going to be JSON. Actually, do we even need to? I actually think you don't even need to. I think I just need to do authorization header. And I need to pass in my token so it knows I'm authenticated. So delete that. Cool. So deleted that. And oops, let's see. See if there's a deleted. And there's not. Okay, so both of those are not working. I'm assuming because it doesn't like the name that I'm using. So I'm going to do some little research and I'll figure out what names that we need to use for these. I figured it was updating deleted since we just created here. And then we'll fix that in the next video. So I'll see you guys then.